Hello, Facebook world. It's Jennifer Darling here with Darling Coaching, your positively successful sales coach. And we are here for the third edition of Positively Successful Women in Business. I'm very excited because tonight we get to talk to my very good friend, Stephanie Sherwood, who's the founder and CEO of the Tapestry Network, about how important it is to have a community and be in community. So tonight I'm going to give you her bio, and then we're just going to jump right in and ask questions. But before we do that, I want to remind you, if you're on our live broadcast, that you can put questions and comments into the comment section and be happy to answer them. I'll share them with Stephanie and we'll answer what we can for you as well. So Stephanie has been a full-fledged entrepreneur for over a decade, in addition to her 18 years in corporate America. A true lover for retail, she worked for Macy's for 15 years and then for 3 years for a retail software development company. See, I only get like the really in the know people here. Macy's, like, that's a big deal. This led Stephanie to launch South Ear Mobile Boutique. In the process, she discovered networking and the value of helping and supporting people in their business, and her heart to specifically serve women in business. And she's done that for me, like, in so many ways, I cannot even count the ways. Along the way, Stephanie has found a void in the marketplace where Christian businesswomen can show up and be all that God has designed and called them to be without any apology. After making a bold statement, because this can be a bold statement, to God about wanting to serve and advance his kingdom, Stephanie was gifted with many visions that have led her to this fabulous organization called the Tapestry Network as a founder and CEO. So tonight we're going to talk to you a little bit about the value of being in community. It's okay to be real. We are all beautifully broken. I'm broken in about 1,000 different pieces, so I get that. And why you need to bring your faith into your business. So welcome, Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's so exciting to be here. I'm honored.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about Tapestry Network. Some people on here know a little bit, but not everybody does. So I'd like to start with just giving us some idea of what Tapestry Network is all about.
Tapestry is about just coming together as primarily business women. We are a Christian organization, but we are open to anybody. So somebody who just wants to understand the value of being a businesswoman and what that looks like for them and how they can positively impact their community and everybody around them.
Awesome. Now, I love Tapestry. I've been to several different meetings with you and spoken a few times at Tapestry, and I've got a really awesome amount of time hanging out with you. Tell me, I'm probably sure there's 1,000 different things, but tell me one thing you really love about Tapestry, about your business.
I'd say probably the one thing I love most is that I get to show up and be real. I have, you started off with we're all beautifully broken, and I want to give props to Donna Gamache. She was the one who turned me on to that phrase. She's one of our directors in St. Louis, Missouri. And in this world, we're so often told that you can't be this, you can't be that, you've got to look good, hang out, follow the Joneses. And the Tapestry Network really has afforded the women who are tapped into us to show up and be them, to know that there's going to be those cheerleaders for you when you're down and those cheerleaders for you when you're up, and just really not having to be fake, because fake is exhausting.
It sure is. I remember the first time I spoke at Tapestry, and I had been up all night. I couldn't sleep. I was so excited to be speaking that I didn't sleep all night, which happens to me quite frequently, frankly. And I remember walking into the room, and I was there for a whole day seminar that you were having, and the room was just so filled with warmth and love that when I finally got up and had my time to speak, all of that nervous energy and the exhaustion I had from not sleeping the night before was kind of like it was like swept right out of me, and then divine intervention, thank God, came through me, and the message was just beautiful, and it was such a cool thing. So you can feel the support, not just like physically, but also all around you spiritually too. So I thought that was a really, really great experience that I had my first time with Tapestry, and of course I have not stopped coming. I've been coming several more times. So love that.
Yes.
So how would you describe, and you can answer this probably in one or two ways, how would you describe how you help others? Or my other thought might be, how would you describe how Tapestry helps others? Because you're part of Tapestry, but it's also part of, as you said earlier, a much bigger vision.
I think it's really just the education around how businesswomen need to show up in this world. At Tapestry, it's different. We know that in the business community, women are often considered to be very catty, that women don't often support one another. So again, at Tapestry, how I help people, and then in turn how Tapestry helps women, is we really educate women on that as a Christian organization, if I'm taking my competitor out, or if I'm not being supportive of another woman in business, we would say that the glory goes to, or the eyes are on me. And in my faith, that's counterintuitive to how we need to be showing up. So I would want God to be the one who gets that glory and that recognition. And I can only do that when I'm serving him and serving others. And so that's really how we have a different impact, and how I help as the CEO founder. It's my responsibility to disseminate that. And so by doing so, then we are creating a bunch of women who have that similar thought process. And it's just so incredibly cool to see how women are showing up and supporting one another. Even when you have a like business, which again, a traditional business group would say, ooh, somebody's kind of doing what I'm doing. I can't be her friend. I can't support her. And we're like, no, we just need to be supporting one another and rallying for one another, and really helping women to succeed in every aspect of their life. So that's a long answer to your question.
No, but I like it, because what I think and what I see is that whether you're an entrepreneur or you're in the corporate world, it can be very lonely. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a solopreneur, you could be working from home. You might not get out of your house very much. If you're in the corporate world, especially, I experience whenever you become a manager, the world gets smaller around you, and there are not a lot of women managers in the corporate world, but that could be kind of lonely as well. And you can work long hours, and you might not even get home to see your family. So there's that sense, and you're going to talk about it, of being in community, and probably that even has a couple different meanings too. And I get that from Tapestry and the support from Tapestry. You want to expand a little bit about what you mean by the value of being in community?
Well, I would say that most people have several communities that they hang out with. And so one of your communities might be your family community, where your husband, your children, your parents, your aunts, your uncles, and they're going to have a very different approach to how they hang out with you, what they expect from you. And often we say, especially in the business community, those who love us the most are usually the ones who want to keep us the most protected. And so that it's a great community, but when you're doing something that goes against the status quo. So like for you, Jennifer, being in corporate America and being a manager, that's a scary thing to do. And so your husband or your mom or a sibling might say, gosh, are you really sure you want to do that? It could be a real scary thing. But yet, in your heart, that's where you're being called to go work. And
that happened to me when I moved from Michigan to California. Everyone's like, why are you going to California? Are you nuts?
Right.
Like, why are you staying in Michigan? Are you nuts?
So, I always share this story. My best friend is still in corporate America, and having come out of corporate, I can still have a lot of empathy for her and, kind of guide her and coach her or counsel her, or just really listen and understand what she's going through. She can't do that for me, not because she doesn't want to, but she doesn't know about Facebook Live and what the value of that is, or the different marketing that you would have to do as a small business owner. So again, surrounding yourself in a community of like-minded people, you get that good balance. Also, when I talk about networking and things over the years, and I always bring this up, if you're an equestrian lover, there's something so unique about the horse community. Like, they are bonded so tight. And then you have your Harley riders, and the Harley community is so incredible. And so you need to find that for yourself. And if you are called into the marketplace in business in any fashion, you really want to make sure that you are hanging around other women and men. But for me, it's for women who really can help guide me beyond what my family can do. My family, of course, wants to keep me safe. My best friend wants to keep me safe. But I'm not called to be safe. I'm called to be who God's called me to be. And that has required me to take some really bold steps. And so I need to make sure I'm in a community that will support those bold steps, and sometimes even give me the right words or the right mindset to go back and be okay when a family member or a friend says, "Gosh, are you sure you want to do that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I really am." So again, it's all the different various communities that we are a part of are important, but you have to pick the right communities to get the right that you need from them.
And I love friends and family, and it's so important to have them support us. But sometimes they're trying to support us by protecting us, right? And putting their arms around us and keeping us from being maybe big and bold. And we're sometimes scared, a lot of times, no, not sometimes, a lot of times scared to be big and bold. So we need those people to kind of push us over the edge, because I keep hearing it's in the uncomfortability where the growth is.
Yes.
And so that's we need that. We need them to push us, put their arms around us too, but be able to support us in many ways to be able to do the things that we might not be comfortable doing on our own.
Right. The other thing about community is it's kind of lining, especially in the business world, lining up those relationships that you may not need now, but you might need in the future. So right now, I work out of my home, but in the future, I may want to own a building. I may want to work out of a building. So it's developing those relationships, in my community, or knowing somebody who knows somebody. And so you have to show up, and you have to be authentic, and you have to be real, and I have to be willing to give more than I would ever hope to receive. And so again, that's the value of being in community. Right.
And showing up is in so many different ways, whether it's at work, whether it's doing something like this, Facebook Live. My eyeballs are all over the screen because this is so new for me, and I've got Stephanie over here on one side, and I've got Stephanie over here on the other side, and the camera's the opposite. But you just have to go for it, and you have to know that there are people out there that care for you, no matter what your imperfections are, because there are plenty of imperfections we all have. And oftentimes when I share those imperfections, those are the times really when people really resonate with me, and they say, "I'm glad you shared that." I mean, I put a funny post up about Spanx today and yesterday, and people just think it's hilarious because I just said something everyone else is thinking, but nobody put it out there. And we really got into a funny kind of conversation about things. But just putting yourself out there can be very scary too.
Yes. And that's another reason why making sure you have having the right community. There may be times where it's okay to share something. And again, if you don't know your community well, there may be certain things that you need to not quite share yet. And so in certain communities, you're going to be comfortable doing certain things. And so that's why I say we really want to be able to find those people that you can show up and be authentically you. So you have created your tribe that allows you to share your Spanx story and appreciate that and find the humor in that. And that's the value of creating a true community who loves and supports you no matter what.
So you've got a saying on here that you gave me that, and I'm trying to type it on the screen right now, is it's okay to be real. We are all beautifully broken. And it's interesting because I think, for one, this is super, super important. But two, I think that, I don't know how long it's been, years, decades maybe, that everybody's just trying so hard, including me, for perfection. And sometimes it keeps us from doing anything because we're trying to be perfect. It kept me from being on any kind of video because I'm concerned that I'm a plus size woman and being on video is going to make me look just horrible. And then one day I said, nobody really cares about that. They care about me, and they care about the information and value I give them and me as a person. And so it didn't matter. I just needed to show up for everybody. And then I started doing stuff. So when you say it's okay to be real, we're all beautifully broken. Can you expand a little bit on how important that is really today?
Well, I think you nailed it. For the last 10 years, we've all tried to show up in our shiny cars and our pretty hair and our pretty nails and our pretty clothes, and that's not real. You'll hear often that, I won't let somebody come into my home because it's not clean, my laundry's not folded, my toilets aren't scrubbed. And really what that does is it prevents you from being in relationship. And relationship is I believe there's God, there's Jesus, and there's the Holy Spirit. And we are created in their image, and yet our image is created in community. And if you think about it, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, there. So if I'm created to be in community, then I have to be okay with who I am. And there's so much power in sharing your story. So for you to have the courage to say, I was struggling to show up because I'm a plus size woman, and I didn't want people to think that they're going to think about me, but being able to share that, to be okay with your beauty. And beauty is not our size. Our beauty is not whether you're a size 4 or a size 34. Your beauty is your heart, and your heart shows when it's beautiful. And so being that way and being real, I've shared some really challenging things over the years, whether it's, relationship things with my husband and keeping a huge financial secret from him, or struggling with, being okay with who I am. And I don't think there's probably many women that haven't struggled with some sort of a weight issue, or, and all of that, but really coming together and saying, it's okay. And that's where the power is. Again, with being real is where the healing comes. It's where you receive that freedom, because when you're no longer hiding behind that mask of what we live in an imperfect world. So how can we expect to be perfect? When we start to educate people that you just have to be you, and if somebody doesn't like the real you, then there's something not in your life anyways. And again, it's exhausting to try to be all of these things that you're not. And so really encouraging women to, again, find that community. And at first, it might be 1 or 2 really good friends. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 strangers. Sometimes it's easier to air those things when somebody doesn't know you really close. But getting it off your chest and standing in who you are created to be, and no matter what your belief system is, you were created for a reason, on purpose, for purpose. And the quicker we get that point of that realization that I'm beautifully broken, and stop trying to make everybody think that I'm perfect, is there's so much healing in that, and that's where the community really grows.
Well, and one of the things I love about Jesus is that his best friends were all completely imperfect.
Absolutely. Amen, sister.
It's like, just look, they were all imperfect, and that's who he chose to spend all of his time and his teachings in. I think that's so cool. So that brings me to a question that's can be controversial for people, which is, why should you bring your faith into your business?
One of the things that we're currently reading a book, we being the directors of the Tapestry Network, called Prosper in All Things, I think is the name. I'm probably slaughtering the names. And sorry, I'll clarify that.
You're
but what I'm perfect. See right there, there's a
We can
perfect
always put the
example
name
of
in the
my
comments later. It's all good.
yes, in my imperfectness. But what he talks about is it's a rabbi who wrote this book, and that business is noble. And there have been a lot of businesses over the years, or business people, who have done unnoble things with business. But that doesn't mean that every business and everything that we do in business is unnoble. And so when I bring my faith into, and again, whatever your faith is, bring it into who you are. We were created to be complete people. And when you have to segregate this over here, that over here, it gets to that point of exhaustion. It's really hard to show up, let's say, whether it's in your church or your synagogue, and not be who you are. And it's really exhausting to go out into your business community or your social community and not bring that faith element with you. And I think it's so important to be respectful of everybody and where they're at and what they're doing, but yet that shouldn't prevent me from being who I am. And really coming from that place of love and being able to love people where they're at. And so that's where the faith part of it is, because it really does drive and how I show up and how I interact with other people, and to have that true compassion and empathy, grace and mercy. And if I'm not willing to have that rooted in my character and in my integrity, then I'm not being a very good witness for what I proclaim to be. And you know, and that's one of the reasons why Tapestry exists, is because in my church life I found out I couldn't talk about work, and then in my work life I found out I couldn't talk about Jesus, and I went, this is exhausting.
Yeah,
so,
right. Trying to
looking at everything and not having to live a fragmented life. What we say at Tapestry is to be who God's called you to be without apology. So I'm a Christian businesswoman. I need to be bold and proud and stand on that is one of the reasons why I'm on this planet, is to be a Christian, and to be okay with that, and to be solid and strong in that without apologizing, because women have been programmed to apologize. You apologized for being a plus size woman. We apologize for, this sweater, you know, this old thing, you know, and so really women them, and don't apologize for it. Just be who you are.
I love that. So you've got multiple Tapestry chapters, and you're growing the Tapestry Network across the country. So anybody who might be interested in leading up a future Tapestry really would be so smart to connect with Stephanie, because she'll be able to help you there. So it seems like I might have just a little bit of a Wi-Fi problem. Stephanie, are you still with me here?
Yes, I hear you just fine.
Okay, awesome. And it might be on my end too. And I could hear you good. It's the video that's messed up on my end, but I can hear you fine. And this is the most important part anyway, because I want to let you tell the people where they can get more information on Tapestry Network. And of course, I'll post it in the comments after I've stopped the video and I've posted the video. But can you tell people how, if they want to get a hold of you or get involved in Tapestry Network, where do they go for that?
For people that are not in Northern California, you're going to go to tapestry.com, and in Northern California, you're going to go to sacregionaltapestry.com. The SAC Regional Tapestry, we do all of our tapestry groups, chapters, locations, whatever you want to call them, host live events every month, so that you can get in and have that quality FaceTime. I think we got away from Louis, we have a group. In Reno, Nevada, we have a group. Ready to open up Central Valley here in California, and we are talking to women all over the United States right now. So if this resonates with you and you feel really called to lead in the marketplace, we'd be so honored and humbled to have that conversation with you.
And if you're in Sacramento, the city of Sacramento, or Natomas, or West Sacramento, I'm going to ask you right now to contact Stephanie, because I'd really love to see a Tapestry Network in Sacramento, which would be easy for me to get to, so I could go and tap in with the ladies in Sacramento. I drive to Roseville on occasion to see Stephanie. I've been down to Elk Grove, but I really love to have somebody in Sacramento. So if this sounds like you, make sure you go into the comments and find a way to chat with Stephanie. I will post both of those links in the comments for you, so you can reach out and talk to Stephanie if you're interested in meeting at one of her events, or if maybe even you're interested in starting one of your own Tapestry chapters. That would be really, really great. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here today. Is there anything else you want to leave us with before I wrap us up for the day?
I just wanted to say thank you. If you guys don't know Jennifer Darling well, I encourage you to get to know her. She is a wealth of information and knowledge. She's sassy, she's fun, and she's got so many free things on her website that you really need to go check out. And if you are looking to grow your business, she's definitely somebody that you need to watch and really connect with. I'm so excited to have a personal relationship with her. And if you don't yet, I really strongly encourage you to find a way to get to know Jennifer in a much deeper level.
Oh, well, thank you so much for that. I really love giving, and so part of giving is bringing everybody this series too, which is 20 days of incredible women just like Stephanie, because, you know, I'm so lucky to have all these really awesome women in my life, and I want to share them with you because they have amazing information and content, and you can grow with all of these beautiful women. So thank you so much, Stephanie. I'm going to introduce our speaker tomorrow. We will not be on at 4 p.m. tomorrow because I'm going to be at the Limitless Women conference in Newport Beach. In fact, as soon as I hang up, I've got to finish my laundry because my husband's driving me down there. I've never been in Newport Beach before, so it's a new experience with the amazing Laura Gisborne. So we'll not be here at 4 p.m. tomorrow, but we will be here at 1 p.m. tomorrow because I've arranged to meet with Katarina Rondo, who is my business coach in San Francisco, and she's going to be telling us all about hosting your own events and retreats. So we talk about community. Stephanie talked about community, and one of the ways to do that is to host your own events. So let me just tell you a little bit about Katarina. She serves women on a mission. She's a business mentor extraordinaire and a best-selling author and sought-after speaker. Her latest book, The ABCs of Public Speaking, which she didn't put down here, but you can go right to Amazon right now and download that puppy. It became an Amazon bestseller right off the shelf. She knows how to teach entrepreneurs how to thrive by building influence, embracing public speaking, and hosting events and retreats. So she's going to give you some of her amazing secrets, and we will not be on Be Live tomorrow because I will be with her. We'll actually really be live, and we'll be just going Facebook Live from my selfie stick, which will be fabulous. So join us at 1 p.m. tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we're going to have my friend Ariel Asher. She'll be on. We'll be live too from Limitless Women. And then next week on Monday at 4 p.m., we'll be back for the regular series of broadcasts for the month of April, celebrating the positively successful women in business. I'm your host, Jennifer Darling. I really wanted to be on Family Feud, QVC, or have my own cooking show. That didn't work out, so here I just made my own Facebook Live show. Thank you all for joining us. Look in the comments, please, so you can get contacted with Stephanie. Have an awesome day. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. Bye.